Hey everybody, happy pre-Halloween. It is October the 30th. It is week 11 in ENC 1101, and we're going to take a look at what's going on this week. So we made a pretty big shift already between the first paper and what will eventually become the second major paper, research paper. There was an early paper that wasn't researched. I'm sure it felt more major to you guys. But anyway, we're starting the APA unit, and this week we are focused solely on learning APA. So just like MLA, I do not ever expect anybody to memorize all the rules and regulations of APA. The most important thing about different citation types and documentation types, format types, is knowing what you don't know and knowing how to and where to look things up. So we're going to take a look at what's going on this week, and I'm going to share a document with you that I'm using in my hybrid class, my mixed mode class that meets today on Monday. And I'm going to go over that handout with you as well and post it in the announcement. So week 11, we are looking at APA format and documentation. You do have an assignment due related to that this week, and that is the APA annotated bibliography. So you have already chosen and submitted your paper proposal for the persuasive paper, and you've done an APA skill drill. So we're digging a little bit further even into APA this week. So let's go ahead and look at the modules, and then I'm going to go over that handout with you. So in week 11, we are, of course, using APA citations and providing summaries and analyses of those potential sources for the persuasive paper. So essentially, you're going to go ahead and do your research for your argument essay, for your persuasive essay. In the modules, you will find, of course, a link to the paper assignment and a link to the annotated bibliography, which is what you're going to turn in this week. Remember, just because it's on this page does not mean it's due this week. The only thing due this week is the annotated bibliography. We're going to see that in the next page. You know, seeing into the future by the past. I also have given you a link to annotated bibliography information from the OWL at Purdue. So this is a page that you can use for reference. And finally, a tutorial video for creating that annotated bibliography. In the assignments due, of course, is the link. And this is not unlike the annotated bibliography that you did for your previous paper, except, of course, now it's going to be created as an APA document, and it's going to look like an APA document. It's going to have a cover page. It's going to have a list of sources with APA citations. And here is a sample that you can kind of go by as well. Your research, of course, your paper, of course, is going to be graded with this particular rubric. So, of course, you're going to want to pay special attention to what you are doing there. But it is not unlike writing the annotations is not unlike what you did in the MLA one. So you can kind of use that as a reminder. For this particular one, you do need to have 5 credible and diverse sources. So you are primarily using the library to find those resources rather than internet sites, websites that are specifically on the internet. They are going to need to have APA citations. So when you are using the library this time out, you'll be using a slightly different version. You'll use the other version of the citation, but you'll be able to pull it the same way you did in the MLA paper. So make sure that you are following all of those guidelines. Make sure that your list is in alphabetical order. And then for each source, you're going to write a concise annotation that is summarizing the main points and evaluating the relevance. Okay, so with argument, this is an important one, and it's just one little line, but I want to focus on it here. With argumentative topics, it is important that you have both sides represented in your research. Now, you're going to still take your own position. You do not have to, this is not just a, this is what everybody says paper. You are going to make your own arguments. But part of effective argumentative writing is to cover the quote unquote other side. So when you are looking for your articles, you want to make sure that you are providing both perspectives or multiple perspectives. Some argumentative topics have much more than just two potential positions. So you do want to make sure that you have that. One of the ways that you can make sure that you do that is by focusing on a particular database that I know we've talked about before, but I'm going to remind you and go into that database here. I'm going to leave the student view for a second and click on the library. So when you're going to the library, remember there's a couple of things that you're going to want to focus on for help. One is, of course, the information about APA citations. So if we go to the regular homepage for the library, you will note that over here on the, where did it go? Okay, I apologize. I had it backwards in my head. But you can go directly to the databases A to Z list. Oh, here we go. Let's go back to the college website. And let's go to student resources, library. A good place to go is the Ask the Librarian information. So if you have help, of course, you can chat with a librarian. You can do all those wonderful things. The link for the APA information, I don't know why I can't find anything today. I'm telling you, this has been the most Monday of Mondays. So I apologize. I am not clicking on any of the right things. But the link is in our course and you guys have used it before. Trying to think. I thought it was on the home when we first opened this page, but apparently it is not. Research guide, library homepage. Nope. I was literally just looking at it earlier. Video. Okay, so on the home page, I clicked on the videos and tutorials page, and you don't necessarily have to watch videos about it, but under citing sources, there are links to all the information about MLA and APA. So that's not a bad place to go. The other thing that I believe you can do is when you first log into Atlas, and then it is under, oh, there it is. Okay, so when you first log into Atlas under My Atlas, there is a link directly on that page to the MLA, APA, and Chicago style guides. Found it. We, of course, are now working with APA. So whenever you need to cite a source that doesn't have a citation provided, which the library ones do, then you will need to utilize that resource. So I wanted to make sure that I knew where to send you to get it. For now, though, we are going to go to the library and we are going to use Opposing Viewpoints database. So when we click on databases A to Z, we want opposing viewpoints, and it is in the popular databases, so you don't have to really dig for it to the O's, but if you do click on O, it'll take you directly to ones that start with an O. Opposing viewpoints is your best bet for this particular assignment because it is specifically geared towards covering both and or all sides of an argumentative topic, and in fact has even subject guides that you might find if you struggle for narrowing down your topic or things of that nature. There's a lot of really good kind of pre-organized issues. In fact, you can browse all 481 issues. I don't think anybody was writing about Facebook, but there's even a whole section on Facebook. There are plenty of things that you can do with this. You can also search opposing viewpoints just like you would any database. So if you have a topic that's already kind of on here, then you can just click on it. But if you search for something, you should be able to find it as well. I'm gonna go with something that's on the list just to make it easier. Let's talk about prison. Prison is always a fun topic. So when I clicked on prisons, I note that I have a whole bunch of things that I can choose from that are organized by the types of sources they are. Featured viewpoints, all viewpoint articles are going to be argumentative in and of themselves. This is kind of the opposite of something that you might want to get background from. If you are looking for background information like definitions and things of that nature, then the reference section is going to be a great one for you. If you need to get facts and statistics, of course, there are statistical links here. But most of the time you're going to focus on, in terms of articles, the featured viewpoints, the regular viewpoints, or the academic journals. Those are all going to be helpful, and magazines for that matter. So let's say, let's just pick one because I want to show you where to find the citations. Because Gale owns opposing viewpoints, the citation is going to be down at the bottom of the page. Now, MLA, which we saw before, is the default. So in order to get the APA citation, we would click on APA citation, APA 7th edition, and we would copy and paste this into our document. Couple of important things to note. The article title does not have quotation marks around it, and it is not fully capitalized. It uses regular sentence capitalization. If it had a subtitle, that first word in the subtitle would be capitalized as well. But APA uses different title rules, so that's one of the things you're going to want to focus on. It does still use italics, so the source title is in italics. Anything that's like a magazine or a journal, those items are going to be in italics. So you have access to the correct citations when you are using the library databases. And in the case of argument, Gale's opposing viewpoints is a great one because you can be guaranteed that it's going to cover more than one side of an argumentative topic. So that's where I would start for my annotated bibliography rather than Google. Because you're going to be getting good sources. You also have all kinds of things that you can focus on here. You've got images, you've got articles in magazines, reference sources. Under reference, for example, this is going to be less argumentative and more informational, but a lot of times that's where we want to start with an argument, is giving that background and that argument or non-argumentative factual information. So make sure, of course, that you have at least 5 sources on the annotated bibliography and that you are writing those annotations as well. As you can see, every time I open the library, somebody wants to help me. So make use of that help as well. All right. All right. So I want to show you really quickly what I'm going to go over with my in-person students this week, just because it's going to give you some helpful things. You may want to print this out for yourself and jot down answers, because it is kind of a little reference tool that you can use for APA, right? And for the differences especially. So I'm going to stop sharing that and share this window. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me use it that way. Nope, it's not going to let me use it that way. So let me share instead the web version. I don't know, I have the full version of Adobe on my computer, but it's not wanting to participate today. So this is what the handout looks like, and I will post the PDF in the announcement so you can use it. But this will give you a little reference sheet to write down the answers. What does APA stand for? American Psychological Association. What appears in the header in APA? Just the page number. There are 6 lines on the cover page, and you have 6 lines here to write down what goes on the cover page. I'm not going to give you all the answers. And instead of a works cited page, what is the bibliography called in an APA paper? References. I already talked about the title thing a little bit, so maybe you caught that. And then there's some additional information about in-text citations and some practice at citing these particular sources. And then on the back side, I'm asking people to write out a paragraph that includes a quote and a paraphrase with in-text citations to give practice. Couple little notes. With in-text citations, the citation will include the publication year, or if there is no year, it will still say in period, D period. So even if you have a website that doesn't have an author or a page number, you are going to have something to put in that in-text citation. A couple other reminders: attach quotations to a phrase or sentence of your own. In APA, the in-text citation goes at the end of the signal phrase before a quote. In MLA, it goes at the end of the quote. So a little bit of a shift there. And then what goes inside the in-text has to match what comes first in the reference entry plus the year. So it's typically an author, just like MLA. All right. So like I said, I will give you that. I will send you that handout in the announcement along with the video. So I hope everybody has a great week. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you need help with this or any assignment, and I will catch you next Monday.